Harmony Week to me means inclusion, diversity. Australia is formed of people with a lot of cultural background and diversity, and that what makes opinions and decisions more constructive, more vibrant, and so forth.
What Harmony Day means to me is that it's a day of celebrating different cultures.
Embracing diversity, embracing the fact that we're all different, but we're still all one. That's what Harmony Week means to me.
It means that we celebrate the diversity within the organisation. And I remember when I first started work in my 20s, diversity was not considered. And I think if I look back all those years ago, it meant that we didn't achieve as much as we could have if we were fully diverse.
Harmony Week is an opportunity that we are sharing stories about each other's culture, respecting and understanding how the culture is different from our own country to other countries around the world.
Chance to share cultures, live experience, and food.
Being a Pakistani, I speak Urdu.
I'm Hindu and I speak quite a few languages. We have a dialect that we speak at home, and then we've got another language that, I can read the script as well, and I can talk that language too. And then obviously the national language, which is Hindi.
I'm from India, so that's my cultural background is I'm an Indian Hindu, because India is again a diversified country like Australia, where people from different culture, religion, and like there's different culture, there's different religion, and each part of India has different languages. Being from India, my parents were Indian too, so that's my inheritance. And as I said, the languages.
I'm Indigenous Australian. I grew up in Maitland, but my mum, she's from a small town past Dubbo, which is at 9 hours or so from Newcastle. It's a small town called Brewarrina.
So my cultural background is my mother was a sixth generation Australian, and my father emigrated for Netherlands just after the Second World War.
I'm from Ireland, was born there myself, and in Navan in County Meath, which is about an hour north of Dublin.
When I look at GNC, although it's a smaller organization, there are targets. Women in leadership is a quite high number, I think more than 60%. But just by walking on the floor as well, you see people with different diverse backgrounds. So that gives you a lot of positiveness. People coming from different mindset, different opinions, and different ideas, and that makes decisions and processes more vibrant.
We're working with the whole cross section of people from different backgrounds. In my team, I've got 2 people that can discuss a lot on footy. And I can be a bit left out, but I still try and clue into what's happening, and I know what teams they follow.
Well, yeah, I really like what GNC does with doing the celebrations like Diwali and Chinese New Year, where they have the food. Invite us all to come in and join that.
Emails about different festivals of the staff, like be it Diwali for Indians or be it Chinese New Year, and they more importantly, the people and culture do email advising why is this being celebrated, so the people of other culture also understands what it is and why is a particular festival being celebrated. It makes us feel good that we are recognized, we belong here.
Oliebollen, which is Dutch donuts, and they make them at New Year's time. And when I was 15, I joined the Scouts actually in the Netherlands and made oliebollen, and they put my picture with the Scouts making oliebollen on the front page of the local newspaper in where my father's from in the Netherlands.
Since you're away from home, you don't get the cuisine what is the exact matching. You miss your home food, so be the street food, especially I miss the street foods like all the chaats which you get especially on the streets.
Kangaroo curry, that's pretty good. It's a bit tough.
The thing I like making is soda bread. It's a pretty simple quick bread that you make without yeast. So it's flour, baking soda, and buttermilk, and then maybe a salt. The most important thing is cutting a course in the center of it. They say in Ireland to let the fairies out, or yeah.
I recently met Jodie McCoy. I mean, I've met her previously on social occasions, but she kind of really inspires me because of the background that she came from or comes from. Being in politics, and she's quite active with the Sari Club that I'm also a member of. Like, it's just a social networking group where we meet once a month, draped in, our beautiful saris. She herself has embraced her love for saris, and, she was in fact one of the first women to wear a sari in the parliament.
I have been doing community radio for 13 years here in Melbourne on Joy 94.9 on a Sunday night. I do what's on here in Melbourne with music theatre and cabaret.
I love drama. I'm into dancing. I'm a trained Bharatanatyam dancer, classical dancer. I've learned it for last 7 years back home.
Painting, I'm a painter. I'm not very good.
I think being respectful and making sure everyone is heard is how diversity is maintained. You just don't want the loudest voice in the room being heard. You want to make sure that everybody's actually being heard.